Now, Astra Malorum released about a month ago, and I completely forgot to make my review, so here it is. I truly think that this map feels like a bonus map. Black Ops 7 had a great start with Ashes of the Damned. It was amazing, it was a huge map, good boss fight, good story, everything about it was pretty good. And then Astra Malorum releases literally 2 weeks later, and I'm already seeing some problems that are happening in the DLC season, and I'm starting to see a repeat of what Black Ops 6 had done with its, DLC cycle. So out of the way, let's just examine this map, and I'll explain to you why I truly think this map is a bonus map. It feels like a bonus map, so let's get into it. Alright, so the most obvious thing we have to talk about is the map layout and how small it is. This map is incredibly small. It is very small. I think it's smaller than Liberty Falls, even. The actual layout is weird, it's cramped, it's not bad, but it's just small, and I don't like small maps, okay? That might be a biasness, but unless it's a survival map like Town, and it's, made to be a survival map, I don't like them unless there's a ton of stuff to do in them or whatever. And unfortunately, this has the same problem. It follows the same pathway of Citadel, where they have this humongous location, unique, cool location, and they just don't commit to it. They don't do anything with it. Citadel had the same problem. You have this massive, beautiful castle, and there's only 2% of it that you explore, and it's already just boring, and there's nothing to do with knights and anything. I know the Easter egg has some stuff, but there's no knight zombies, there's no knight boss enemy, there's just a doppelganger, and nothing makes sense because they don't commit into it. Same thing happens here. We're on a freaking skull in the middle of nowhere in space, and Saturn's right beside us, yet you can't go in the skull, so there's pretty much no point. It's just there for marketing purposes to hype up the map, because if they had just said that this map is just on a random asteroid, it would have looked the same. People wouldn't have thought twice about it. But the fact that you can't go inside the skull and it's only used for like the boss fight to make it cool or whatever is disappointing. The fact that you do nothing with Saturn and it's just there, just looking at you, is very disappointing. The fact that there's no zero gravity and they just make some bullshit explanation that we're in the dark ether, that's why, is disappointing. The fact that there's no space suits, disappointing. The fact that the Ravagers are back, disappointing. They don't commit, and they like to reuse and recycle content again and again and again, and I'm seeing this problem with Astra Malorum. I'll say a few good things that I like about the map layout. I do like how there's different, observatory stations on the map. That's cool. And yeah, I like how they're changing it up, right? It's more, closed spaces, but I still see it as slop. I think that they could have made this map bigger, and them saying that, oh, we just want the maps to feel different, Kevin Drew saying that, is clearly just them wanting to put less work, because obviously if you make a smaller map, guess what, it's less work than making a bigger map, because you don't have to make as much assets, as much rooms, as whatever, planning or whatever. You don't have to do that much, and I think it's just lazy making the map small, and when it's not a survival map and there isn't much to do on it, because let's be honest, modern zombies, there's not much, the quests aren't too long, there's nothing really to do on the map besides get the wonder weapon and Easter egg. Well, it just makes the map feel annoying to play, and it's not even that it's bad, it's just disappointing every time I load up, because I'm thinking I'm going into a space zombies map with spacesuits and everything. I'm going to be jumping around, shooting asteroids, going to Saturn, but none of that happens. I'm just on a rock, and that's it, and they just are dangling the things I want in my face like a carrot. So that's my biggest problem with this map, is that it's small, and that makes it feel like a bonus map. Now, let's get into some of the other things this map has. So, Wonder Weapon, the LGM. The LGM, I think, is a good Wonder Weapon. Yes, it doesn't kill zombies like crazy. It's fine. It's good enough. It kills zombies one at a time. It's cool. There's a little alien on it. But the fact that there's no reference to aliens on this map, there's not an alien boss fight or something like that, it just feels cheap, man. It just feels like they're dangling it in our face. But it's still a good Wonder Weapon. It's not that bad. Oscar, I think, is a good boss. The only concern about him is that there's no way to make him run faster. If there was something like Leroy where you could shoot some button on him and it would make him come super fast to you, I think he would be a lot better, because the fact that you have to use him for a few Easter egg steps, especially building the Wonder Weapon, and he's just so goddamn slow, it's just annoying and it's tedious. But I do like how he patrols the map. He's like George, you're not meant to kill him. I do like that. I'm actually surprised they actually committed to something and it changed up some of the boss enemies, and it's not just the same mangler that just chases you and shoots things at you. So I like that, but they do need to fix how on round 50 he just starts following you no matter what. I don't go for high rounds, so it's not really an issue for me, but I could understand as a high, in the high round community, that's annoying. Another positive is the actual Mars location, but it also comes with a negative that you have to do almost the entire Easter egg to get there, and it's just annoying because this is actually the best part of the map. The Mars location is freaking amazing, man. This is what the map should have been. I truly think they should have just scrapped the entire map and just made the Mars map. Just make it completely on Mars, because it has low gravity, you can jump around. Sure, it doesn't have spacesuits, but it's fun. It feels unique. It doesn't feel like a random zombies out that we've had for the past few years. It feels unique. I will come back to this map. I might come back just for this Mars portion because it's cool. It looks amazing. It looks beautiful. The Shangri-La references are amazing. The Templar zombies are amazing too. I never thought they'd ever change the eye color of the zombies, or severely change them, but they finally did in this map. They added Templar zombies that are blue zombies, kind of like the ones from Origins, and they only spawn in when you get to the Mars location. But the fact that the Mars location isn't actually part of the map and it's just for the Easter egg is disappointing. I would have rated this map a lot higher if it was just part of the Pack-a-Punch. Maybe the Pack-a-Punch was in here, but the fact that it isn't is disappointing, and I just wish that we could have gone a full version of the Mars map, because the Mars location is amazing, man. You can look in the distance, you can see Saturn on the side, like just on the left. It looks beautiful. If you look in the distance, you can see like structures, random like ancient structures, a statue of like Alistair Rhodes or something. It's cool, but again, the fact that nothing happens with it is disappointing. Another thing is I want to talk about here is the Easter egg. The Easter egg I think is actually decent, but it just feels like another bonus Liberty Falls type Easter egg. It's very short, it's not that hard, but again, it is a little tedious. There's a lot of steps where you have to like write stuff down, or not a lot, it's just mainly one step with the bookshelf step. You have to write down all the book numbers. It's a unique step, but I'm probably just not going to do the Easter egg because of that step, because I hate having to do steps where you have to pause the game, write stuff down. Unless the Easter egg's extremely difficult, like Blood of the Dead, I think for an Easter egg this easy, it's just kind of annoying. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The Easter egg is just another random, you just grab random parts and put them together. It's fine. They don't do much with the planets. There's like one planet step where you just shoot planets to northeast, northwest, or whatever. Yeah, it's disappointing. Voyage of Despair had a much better one than this, but yeah, I don't know, it just feels like this map is just a cheap copy of like three different maps, man. It feels like a cheap copy of like Shangri-La, Moon, of course, and then like Voyage of Despair with like the planet steps, and just mush them together and just give us this cheap little copy here. The boss fight is good. Actually, no, boss fight's good. The boss fight's good. I thought at first I hated it. I thought it was one of the worst boss fights because I didn't know how to beat him. I was just using the LGM, and that doesn't do enough damage unless you have like the field upgrade glitch, which I think is patched. But once I got the M10 and I Pack-a-Punched it, yeah, I shredded the boss. It was actually fun. It's not that difficult, to be honest. Maybe in your second try, if you go in with like a powerful shotgun, you should be able to get it done. Nowhere near as hard as the Ashes of the Damned one. I prefer the Ashes of the Damned because it's unique, and I like how the Easter egg was really long and complicated, and it felt like it was more like you were doing stuff that made sense in the map. This one is just random fetch quest, and the obvious stuff, like you'd expect, okay, you shoot a meteor and you grab something, or I don't know, you do something with the meteors that hit the sky, or you do something with Saturn, but none of that happens. It's just another random stuff where you just grab Dr. Thurston's brain and do some other random stuff. That's the problem. They just don't commit with the locations that they're given in. They did a good job with Ashes of the Dam, actually, where each location had their own steps that made sense, but maps like Citadel and this map and a lot of other cool, unique locations that we've gotten in Modern Zombies, they just don't commit with it. They just don't do steps that would make sense to that. They just do other boring military stuff. But yeah, the story of the map is also decent. It's just, Dr. Thurston and his like researchers were in Liberty Falls or something, and they randomly teleported and met the warden. He sucked their souls, and then he sent Oscar to kill them all. Cool story. It's unique, but now we have to talk about the outro cutscene. The outro cutscene is terrible. It's terrible. It's not a good outro cutscene. It's just the characters have no quotes again because the AI voice strikes probably, and they just get sucked up by some zombies, and Nikolai and Gray get their souls back, which is also weird. I don't know what these combinations are, like Nikolai and Gray. I'd expect like, I don't know, Nikolai and Weaver because they're both Russian or something. And Maya and Dempsey, I mean, I guess they're trying to make some relationship between them, but I just think it's weird, like weird combination of people. Like I think Dempsey would have made sense with, like, I don't know, what's his name, Carver, probably. I don't know, but I think the combinations they got are kind of weird. But yeah, it's just another fetch quest ending cutscene. They promised us that each map would have an intro cutscene, but with their wording and because it's Activision, that probably means that every map will not have an outro cutscene, or it'll just be another shit one like the one we got in this map, where it's just no dialogue, kind of like the Tomb. They just take us to the next location. I think that if you want as outro cutscene or intro cutscene that's good, it has to be one where if you didn't watch it, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't, like, if you didn't watch that cutscene, there's information that you wouldn't know unless you watched it. So for example, if you didn't watch the Rise and Directs cutscene, you wouldn't know the whole premise of the entire Black Ops 3, kind of story that all the maps were doing, where every map was going to take a character's soul and bring it to the summoning key, and in the end they're going to meet Dr. Monty and all that stuff. I mean, I guess Dr. Monty wasn't revealed, but still, you wouldn't know the main premise of the maps if you didn't watch the Rise and Direct uncut scene. If you didn't watch the Rise and Direct uncut scene, you wouldn't know that premise. If you didn't watch Voyage of the Spares uncut scene, you wouldn't know that Bruno was, part of the cult. You just wouldn't know these things. But in this cutscene, I mean, if you didn't watch it, the only thing you're missing is that we just went to the next map, pretty much, and we got stuck in by the warden. That's pretty much it. There's nothing really important from this end cutscene. It's just boring. And I think that this map is the start of the slop that we might get for Black Ops 7. I feel like, this is the slop. We're gonna get some big maps, medium maps, but we're gonna probably get some smaller maps that are gonna have trash uncut scenes, maybe comic book level uncut scenes or intros, because the budget apparently is getting cut from Black Ops 7 in the future seasons. So we're probably gonna get some stuff cut, like some cheap ass stuff like that. We're gonna get boss fights. The boss fights are good, fine. The boss fights are good, but we're gonna get more maps that don't commit with their theme, right? We're gonna get some cool ass location. Like I think this one is like in hell or some volcano or something, but we're probably gonna have some random cutscene where you just find a military soldier's helmet and then just put it in a computer and fight I don't know, like Abomination or something. Like that's probably gonna be the storylines. They're not gonna commit to the theme. Trash outro cutscenes are just gonna introduce us to the next map. And yeah, I think that's the biggest problem with this map. I'm just disappointed is the biggest thing, that we didn't get, they didn't commit to the theme. And I think that's why this map just feels like a bonus map. Another thing is the Pack-a-Punch machine, man. I forgot that. They brought the OG Pack-a-Punch machine, and they don't bring back the, cracking the knuckles animation or whatever. Why? Like, you see, they're just dangling the carrot, and they're not fully committing to the things they bring back, or the cool things they do. And that's why I'm just pissed, man. I don't like playing this map, because every time I play it, I just get pissed at how disappointing it is, with the amount of things they could have done with this map, but they just didn't do, because they want to appease the casual audience, and they want to, appease their shareholders by not doing anything risky. It's just annoying, man. It's just annoying. And I had the same problem with Citadel. I don't like Citadel either, because it's such a cool location and they just did nothing with it. So that's why this map, I'm gonna give it like a 5 out of 10, maybe a 6 out of 10. I think Curse Mode again makes this map fun. It's still fun. I'm gonna play it. Maybe my opinion changes, but as of right now, I'm just disappointed. And yeah, man. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace.